Hello to everyone. Today we are going to talk about unemployment in Turkey. The first subject that I think everybody should know is what is unemployment and how the governments measure it. Unemployment has an important place for every country and it shows that the economy of the country is good or bad. So the Turkish Statistical Institute TÜİK uses the standard calculation methods of the International Labour Organization while calculating the unemployment rate. Accordingly, there are some rules stating that someone is unemployed. The first one is being 15 or older than 15 years old, and second one is work at least 15 hours in week for non-profitable organization or 1 hour with profit. The third one is seeking a job from anyway at the last 4 week but don't find any. And the last one is be available to work in the next 15 days. So we have employed and unemployed, but what about the people who haven't one of these features? We count them not in the workforce. People who aren't in the workforce are those who are not looking for a job but ready to work, seasonal workers, busy with housework like houseman or housewife, students, retirees, people who are unable to work, for example, children or disabled people, and the last one is having another reasons, for instance, family problems.
Cause of unemployment. Unemployment in Turkey is a big problem in itself. Some of the factors at the beginnings of the rapid population growth in Turkey: migration from rural areas to major cities, lack of sufficient environment of disabled people to work, inability to provide necessary employment to people, and mismatch between job seekers and employers. To give an example of these articles, the amount of immigration accepted by Turkey in recent years. At the same time, due to developing technology, people prefer to live in places where technology is more suitable rather than rural areas. Some private companies and banks only accept students from certain universities. There are certainly many universities in our country. This means there are many graduates for our given. Unfortunately, it also brings unemployment to our country. Another dimension of unemployment. A much more important dimension of unemployment problem is the fear it creates individual, the anxiety for the future, and deterioration of physical and mental health. When the number of such individuals in our society, in our country increases, this problem turns from an individual problem into a society problem. Because the loss of judgments of the society provided in deterioration of social solidarity causes despair.
As you said before, unemployment is an important problem all over the world, and it is not only an economic problem, but also a health of person. I want to start with how does unemployment affect health? First of all, unemployment and dismissal are one of the most important social problems. The relationship between unemployment and personal health has been the subject of many studies. While being fired can negatively affect the health of the person, it is also a great possibility that people with health problems will be fired or unemployed. Secondly, unemployment affects health through several mechanisms. The first of these is the loss of financial gains. As a result, more undesirable events may occur. For example, methods of coping with stress do not work or become inadequate. Sometimes coping methods can be harmful. For example, an increase in cigarette and alcohol consumption. The most dangerously, people who have been fired are twice as likely to attempt suicide or self-harm. After that, I want to mention studies examining the health effects of unemployment. One of the first studies carried out after the 1929 World Economic Crisis was carried out by a group of psychologists at the University of Vienna in 1930. As a result of the study, it has been determined that unemployed individuals have a deterioration in their psychological and physical health and a decrease in their hope and self-esteem. When we look at the other data, the health problems caused by unemployment and poverty in the 70s were as follows: nutritional disorders, weakening of body resistance, increase in their infectious diseases, heart and circulatory diseases. Finally, unemployment is an important problem all over the world and affects people's health both directly and indirectly. It should always be known that in an environment where the economy is shrinking and unemployment is increasing, people's health problems will increase. So the state should decide the phenomenon of creating new employment opportunities, not only according to economic indicators, but also according to the health indicators, and should try to open new business areas in order to protect people's health.
Unemployment has solutions. Now, I will make some suggestions to prevent unemployment and talk about what should be done. Firstly, what needs to be done is not to open new universities, but to discuss the problems of the university system and unemployment. In this case, it is very important to provide and facilitate cooperation with research institutions and universities. Produce new policies and population planning is critical, because population increases, unemployment also increases. Population planning should be focused on employment policies. In this way, unemployment can be under control. Which areas there is or will be demand for labor in the labor market by using statistical data? In my opinion, this is very important, because most universities have the same departments. A lot of people graduate from the same department, so many people are unemployed. Therefore, by using statistical data, it should be known in which areas there is or will be demand for labor in the labor market. And the last one is entrepreneurship. The state should create funds for young entrepreneurs so that people can start their own business. This could be a solution to unemployment.
Hi, my name is Amir. Firstly, I would like to thank Ataberk for his recommendations for solution of unemployment. I would like to conclude this topic by giving few more examples. Planning and providing vocational training according to the need, directing and encouraging young people to go to vocational schools in areas where they can find jobs easier in the future, increasing production, working towards the education and employment of the disabled, local administrations to work for the disabled to acquire a profession, the education system to provide young people with different skills, to provide vocational training with various training in the military to create a practical experience between the private sector and education places. The establishment of units in the form of consultancy, benefiting from the opportunities of Ishkur. Information chain between individuals, unemployed jobs requiring certain skills, coordination on high school graduates, TV, and so on. Establishing vocational training programs in the fields should be equitable. Financing institutions should be accessible to everyone and institutions providing education. Low credit, long-term bank funds, creating funds for young entrepreneurs, increasing part-time job opportunities, increasing vocational training, small and medium-sized enterprises, solution suggestions such as providing support are offered. Dear friends, unfortunately, we are unprotected in this period. We never and will never forget our freedom. We must use our freedom and defend our profession, occupation, work, and labor. The 4-year education we received should not be unemployed. Let's not allow anyone to take away the business areas of our profession and leave them unemployed. But let's not forget that no matter what profession you have, if you really love the thing you are doing, and if you have improved yourself in your profession, you can be sure that you will get what you deserve. Thank you for listening to us. Please don't hesitate to ask questions.
Unfortunately, the increases in the unemployment rate, which continues to increase towards the present day, shows us that the situation in the country is terrible for families. We hope that our government will contribute to the home economy with effective projects as soon as possible.